Now, a new version of AutoCAD and AutoCAD LT means that there are several little enhancements that have taken place. These are small changes that will make existing tools better, even if it's just slightly, but you get enough of these things and altogether they're almost like one big giant feature all on their own. One nice thing is that you can now draw arcs in either direction by pressing the Control key to switch directions. Let me show you. Type in A for the arc command, pick my center point, pick my start point, and it will draw in this direction. As you can see that it's starting at my start point. That little bit that's in between my crosshair and that first point is not getting drawn. If that's the part that I want drawn, that short little empty speck there, I just press and hold the Control key, and now it swaps the directions. Let it go and it goes the other way. So a lot of times you start your arc command from the center and from a start point and you get it wrong. You get the direction wrong. It's frustrating. You have to stop and do it again. Well, this way you don't have to. You just press the Control key and it lets you continue on. One of the other little things that have been added into AutoCAD 2014 is the ability to fillet a polyline. So if I start the polyline command and I want to fillet these two ends closed. Before AutoCAD 2014 and AutoCAD LT 2014, I couldn't do that. It wouldn't fillet in and close in on itself. I could fillet one of these corners, no problem. But let's say I'm going to fillet and make a radius of 2. I can click here now and I get my little preview. You can see I can now fillet a polyline on itself. It's the same thing now with a chamfer. The chamfer can do that as well. And that's a really great thing. Another thing that you can do is use the convert PSTL files. That's a long system variable and it's a command, but it lets users convert the current drawing to either a named or color dependent plot style. That's just a different way of managing your layers and line types and layer colors and line thicknesses when they print. If you're going to use a CTB file or an STB file, this is just something that will do that change for you on the fly. Another thing that you can do in AutoCAD 2014 is to have spaces in style names. You couldn't have that before. So if you go to your Annotate tab and you go to Dimension Styles, click here to open it up. Before, if we were going to make a new one, couldn't put spaces in it before, but now you can. It's not a huge thing, but it's one of those little tweaks that make the program just a little bit better. Now, the default behavior for inserting blocks with attributes is going to stay in the dialog box. The ATTDIA setting is set to 1. So just remember that if you're using attribute dialog boxes. What that means is that when you insert a block and it has attributes, and typically that'll be with like a title block, the window will open up when you insert it every time by default and allow you to insert that text. Now, of course, you can turn that off if you'd like. Another thing that's been changed is single line text. It's been changed to maintain the last justification setting until it's changed. So if I want to type in single line text, I'm going to justify it left. Put it in here, and we're going to type in text. Now, when I go to put this in, it kept the same justification that I had before. So if I try to do dtext again, and I go to justify, it's defaulting to left because that's what I used last time. And my height, and now my rotation, and I can just type in whatever I need. Usually when you're making text, you're doing it the same way over and over again until you need it to be different. So that's just a little time saver. Another nice little thing is the dim continue mode system variable. That means when you're dimensioning something and you want to continue that dimension. So let's say here I have a dimension. And I'm going to click here. If I want to continue, I can come up here to my continue, and it comes here by default and sets up my dimensions. But let's say I have a different style. I'm going to click the annotative one, and I have a dimension here. I'm going to put in. Now, regardless of what's set as being current, say I'm having my standard style be current. Now, if I go to click continue, and if I want to select, press S, say I want to pick this dimension. Now, what's nice about it is that it will automatically adopt the dimension style that you're continuing, even though it's not the current. Now, another thing is the ribbon hatch tool. It will maintain the previously used method of selecting a hatch, like either picking an internal point or selecting objects. So whatever you did last, that's what it's going to do. So one last thing, in the command line, the undo option has been added to it. So if I start a command like line, and I perform one instance of it, and oh wait, I picked the wrong spot. Normally I would just cancel out and just start the command all over again. Pick my point. Nope, that's the wrong point again. I can come down here and click undo. It doesn't cancel out my command. I don't have to completely start over. I can click the first point and then the second point. Oops, that's the wrong second point. Well, I can just hit U for undo, or I can click down in here. Before I couldn't do that. So it makes it a little bit easier to undo some things. Those are a lot of the little things that have been put into this new version of AutoCAD and AutoCAD LT that make the experience a little bit better. These are very small things, but all of the small things together really add up.